Well, the government says New Zealand did not do any sort of reciprocal deal to ensure the safe release of the influencers.
But now they're out, Kiwi Iranians are calling for stronger action from our leaders against the Iranian regime. Political editor Jenna Lynch reports.
From the streets of Iran, across the globe to Berlin and right here in New Zealand. An uprising, standing for the women of Iran as they fight for their rights. But amongst all the condemnation, one usually loud, proud feminist voice has been unusually quiet.
Over the past several months, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade and New Zealand Government has been working hard to ensure the safe exit of 2 New Zealanders from Iran.
As Green MP Golriz Garaman was cutting off her hair in solidarity, Jacinda Ardern was issuing toned-down statements like this.
We've called on the Iranian ambassador here in New Zealand to raise directly our concerns.
Upsetting Iranian Kiwis Masa Marks and Samira Tagavi.
The New Zealand response so far has been very weak. It has not been clear, it has not been satisfactory.
This is a human rights crisis, and we would like to see that the New Zealand government calls it what it is.
And as a female-led government, we expected so much more.
Newshub understands it was deliberate. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern deliberately tempered her criticism of Iran to avoid upsetting the regime and jeopardising the release of the 2 Kiwi influencers who were there despite a travel warning. But now they're safe, she's free to speak.
It is absolutely horrific to see a set of circumstances where a woman would lose her life as a result of breaking the rules of what essentially are morality police.
Ardern flew to Antarctica this morning, leaving her deputy to fill in more details, like where the pair were held, though he couldn't fill in many blanks.
They were not able to leave Iran. They needed the assistance of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade officials and others to be able to do that.
Newshub understands while they may not have been imprisoned, the pair's movements were restricted. They were held in more than one place and couldn't leave without government intervention. That could mean they had their passports taken. But while Iran often engages in prisoner swaps, our diplomats got them out without one.
I can absolutely guarantee you no deal has been done.
Now 2 very lucky Kiwis are safe. The government is safe to go harder on Iran.
You cannot just come out and say we are concerned about something and then do nothing about it. That's not how it works.
The expectations from Iranian Kiwis are high.
Well, Jenna's with us now. Kia ora, Jenna. What further action could we see from the government now?
Firstly, let me tell you that behind the scenes in the Beehive, there is a sense of incredulity at the actions of these influencers, with one senior minister throwing words like stupid and entitled around. It's a pretty major diplomatic coup that they've managed to get them out of there without a deal. It sounds like the pair's offence was dumb rather than a capital crime, and the officials just kept pressing and making assurances that they had learned their lesson. Now, you heard the Prime Minister there trying to explain that she was trying to strike a balance between statements of condemnation, but doing so carefully because of the plight of these 2 Kiwis. Now that they're out, that balance shifts, and watch this space for further government action. While we're not super likely to see sanctions applied or the expulsion of an ambassador, for instance, you will likely see the government more overtly backing calls for an independent and credible investigation, a UN-style investigation into what is going on in Iran.
OK, ngā mihi. Thank you very much, Jenna.